I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by, of course, as always, the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, September the 22nd races at Hastings. We'd have 7 races on tap. Weather is a little rainy as of taping,
I was going to ask if you did you handicap for the mud? I handicapped for the mud.
It's supposed to get a little rain. It's supposed to get better on Sunday, but you better be looking for the mudders or the wet trackers. But yes, the Saturday opener, as always, starts at 1:50. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
We got a field of 6 fillies and mares here going a mile and a 16th. Open race. Horses could have won multiple races this year. I had to lean to the rail to number 1, Shayla's Rose. She's been running bang-up races, sprinting. She can route. A couple of her route races last year behind Lady Cash and PG Star were good enough, to beat a field like this. And I just think she's been banging heads with the better horses. A Star to Be, Beloved Betty, Don't Tell Judy, Tattooed Kitty. Those are just better horses than what she's facing this afternoon. So I went Shayla's Rose over the 6, Perry Ann, who had a really tough trip in her last sprint. She was in between horses early. She got shuffled back to last almost, and then made a good 4-wide run. And the racetrack was carrying the speed horses, so it really didn't help Perry Ann at all. So I thought she ran well against the grain of the track. Her mile and 16th races are generally pretty good, even though she doesn't have a win at the distance. She's been on the board in 5 of the 8 tries going long, so she's a player. And I put the 3-horse Arbenita Rose, who was just coming back on 6 days' notice, in for third. She did run second to Beloved Betty, ran kind of a winning race. Beloved Betty come up the inside to defeat her that day, but still, that was just last Sunday. That was my only concern. Plus the fact that she has never really had any success going long either, so that was a little bit of a deterrent for me to pick her any higher than third. But she's one of the better fillies in the race, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her win, but I just don't know if this is her best distance. I went 1, 6, and 3.
I went to a little bit of maybe an outsider here. I went to the 2 Go-Go Eileen. Rob Maben's got a few in
good
here.
rope, man.
I like Go-Go Eileen. She's only run 3 times this year. So first time she sprints, you can toss that out. Second time she goes mile 16th, she wins by 2.5. Over Belly Girl, Storm Cruiser, they both came back to win their next start. Then she went in the endurance race against Lucky Ending, all under control.
Overmatched.
That is a tall effort for her. Now she's back in against girls for 4,000, going a mile 16th. She's won over a wet track, but she's only run 3 times, and I think she could be sitting on a good one here. I put Go-Go Eileen over the 1, your top pick, Shayla's Rose, for the reasons you mentioned. She's going to be tough in here coming out of that A Star to Be, Beloved Betty race. And I threw in your second pick, Perry Ann, another Rob Maben runner. I put her in for third. I went 2, 1, and 6.
Yeah, Rob's got half the field in here.
Yes, he's got a good shot.
These girls are right beside each other in the morning in their stalls, and they're going to be right beside each other in the starting gate as well.
2, 1, 6 for me in the first on Saturday. Second, 16 non-3 for fillies and mares going 6.5. This is a tough one. No matter which way you slice it, you're going to leave out a live horse. And I ended up going to the 5, Babylon Will Fall. Just won this race last time by a head over Classic Statement. That was the last race on Derby Day when she got up.
Yeah.
Didn't look like she got there, but she did get there, and it looks like there should be enough speed in here to set her up again. I got her on top. I put Mayfair Lady. She's coming out of the same race. Only got beat a couple lengths for trainer R.B. Anderson and gets a significant rider switch to Richard Hamill, who's batting 28%, and I could see her moving forward. She's got the talent to compete in here. The time before that, she ran a good second behind Northern Storm. Mayfair Lady for me in second, and I threw in Rain or Shine for maiden win for Keith Peterson. Keith and Ken Johnson have a couple in here. Classic Statement's going to be tough. She just got beat ahead last time at Babylon Will Fall. But this one could be a bit of a price. Amadeo Perez, our leading rider, gets aboard, and she was running good for maiden special weights. Went down to the 8, won comfortably. I could see her in a 16 on 3 being competitive. In what is a very competitive race. I went 5, 6, 2.
Yeah, it is a tough race. I mean, actually, 5 of the 6 runners have run against each other last time. And so basically what I did was Rain or Shine still has to prove herself against winners. So I just concentrated on the other 5 horses. And I thought, which ones had who had the worst trip of anyone? And I thought the one Maury Girl had the worst trip of anyone in that race and got beat ahead. Classic Statement had a perfect trip. Babylon Will Fall had a rail perfect trip. Everything went their way. Maybe it'll go that way again, and they'll both run well. But Maury Girl had a 3 wide, got kind of squeezed out early, went 3 wide around the first turn, 3 wide down the back. She didn't know where to go down the backstretch. She's got to be, because Expensive Taste was getting out pretty badly on the backstretch. And so he ended up going in between horses at the far turn after finally making a decision, Antonio Reyes. And it just, those little things cost you like this far. And that's all she got beat. And I just thought, and Mayfair Lady was another one, didn't get a great trip.
Yeah.
So I don't have her top 3, but Mayfair Lady had a dreadful trip. She's another one. She could be 3 lengths, but still, she had nothing go right that day. And she is worth a play as well. And as you mentioned, good note that Richard Hamill aboard. But I went Maury Girl over Classic Statement, and I put Babylon Will Fall in for 3rd. I went 1, 3, and 5. All the horses coming out of the same race, but I thought
that might be an all-button race.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
It's a tough one.
Well, there was only a head separating 3 of them last time. You know how close they are in ability. So it's a good race. On to the 3rd, I'm on the 16th here for $25,000 older horses. It's tough to get past Square Dancer. I mean, obviously a heavy favorite likely in here. Just got beat by Randall Plate winner, absolutely stylish last time, and was set up well that day. And but Square Dancer is going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought Dashing Dawn. I don't know what happened last time. Kind of a flat effort.
They tried to rate him last time. They didn't want to go to the lead, and
well, you didn't want to go to the lead with Papa, and the other one.
Yeah, I know, but he was kind of Enrique was kind of fighting him.
On the, Hanson's Victory.
Yeah,
went really.
But he's
rocketing out there.
But I think if you take that away from him, if he's on the lead, he's not the same horse. Mm-hmm. And he looks like, there's Silent Eagle, I guess, but he looks to be the speed in here and could be tough again.
Ace Deuce has got speed too.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Dashing Dawn is live in here. I mean, these horses are within his range. Anytime he's in for a quarter, he's generally pretty tough. And he's a 3-time winner this year. And wouldn't be surprised to see him turn things around. And I put the 4 Ace Deuce in. He was the one out fighting 3 wide against Absolutely Stylish and Estrella. He was taking the worst of it that day. He should have run last. I mean, Absolutely Stylish showed how good he is, by coming back to win the Randall by about 6. He absolutely ginned, defeating the best Calgary Caper, all the best older horses here. But Ace Deuce didn't get the best of trips that day, and maybe a better one today. But he's not out of the realm of possibility. But Square Dancer is the horse to beat. 156. 154.
Yeah, I'm with you. Similar picks. I have Square Dancer on top. The reason you mentioned just beat a neck behind Absolutely Stylish last time. He is the horse to beat in here. Another one when he's in for 25. He's very tough.
Yeah, he's going to get over bet. That's only a crappy thing, and really because he Absolutely Stylish wins. He just got beat, and it's like all the reasons to make him 3 to 5, and he never wins.
And he's a closer, so he's got to contend with that. That if there isn't a lot of pace, he's over a barrel.
He is the horse to beat.
Square Dancer, I agree. Dashing Dawn in the 2nd spot. I put in Sanawar in the 3rd spot.
Yeah, I can see him. Especially if it's wet. He's a cool wet track horse. He's way better. He moves up on wet tracks.
And I think it's going to be wet.
It looks like it's going to be.
But so he gets out of his condition races. He wins the 16 non-3 fairly comfortably. Then he tackles these guys. Your first time tackling these guys is going to be a little daunting. He's got that race under his belt. I can see him moving forward 2nd time in this company. I went 1, 5, and 6 in the 3rd. On to the 4th. Maiden 25 for 2-year-olds. I went to the Phil Hall runner Irish Charlie. Good 2nd in the BC Cup Nursery earlier on this year. Came back, didn't run a jump last time in a maiden special weight. Got beat 14 lengths. That little drop down to 25 could be what he needs to get him back on track. And Phil Hall betting 27%. He's well on his way to being our leading trainer for the 2nd year in a row. Irish Charlie for me on top of the hybrid. Another one that switched, significant rider change here. Only got beat a neck by horse 2 starts back in the maiden 25. Now gets leading rider Amadeo Perez aboard. That could improve the chances of the hybrid. And I threw in the Valentine Kid, the Mabin runner in here. Mabin's horses are not generally great first out. 2nd start, you see them really make an improvement. We saw that with a 2-year-old of his earlier, that Troupon Online, that was a big price. Made a big step forward in his 2nd race, and I could see the Valentine Kid moving forward in his 2nd start. 4-2-1 for me.
I have the same 3 horses. Irish Charlie, I don't love the horse. I mean, he's
beatable.
He's dropping for 25, but he didn't. He broke outward. He was wide the whole race, and was never in the race. But it was quick. He exploded one very nicely in 1:18-1. That was a very good. That was I think one of the more better maiden allowance races we've had in some time. Whiskey Bound was stakes placed, and this horse was 2nd that day. And Purple Storm, who we'll see,
later on,
tomorrow or just that was a good heat that this horse was coming out of, and he didn't get the best of trips, but he caused a lot of his own problems. I agree with him winning because I just didn't love anyone enough to put on top of him.
Yeah, he's not a single. I was the same way. I was looking for somebody to beat him.
He's definitely not a single.
And I couldn't really find anybody. He's got a 40 Buyers last out. A lot of things point to Irish Charlie. But this is a race you might want to go deep.
But he got second in the nursery by default. Just no one else ran.
21 and 2, 45.
He closed and just kind of galloped into second.
Yeah.
He might be more of a distance horse, but Irish Charlie has found a field that he should be able to beat, maybe. I put the 1 Valentine Kid, pretty impressed with his run. Missed the break, made a big 4-wide move on the turn. This horse ran really good. There was no pace on. They ran home pretty quick. Tricky Notice and Troupon Online and Kindergarten Grader, his stablemate. They ran pretty quick the last part of that race on a track that wasn't super fast. And he was trying to run into that quick last quarter, and he was doing well out wide. He's worth following, and also I agree with the hybrid. I went 4, 1, and 2. In the 4th. On to the 5th race, $16,000 3-year-olds going 6.5 furlongs. A lot of these horses come out of the Ezekiel, Rogerio, another Guinness race, and once again, like I did with Maury Girl in the 2nd race, I thought the horse that had the worst trip of all and was best was the 3-horse European. He was 4 wide first turn, 4 wide back stretch, 3 wide on the stretch turn, got beat 2 lengths, ran 4th. He was, for my money, way better than Ezekiel, Rogerio, and other Guinness. So I'm gonna follow him to win it. Put the 6 horse. The chances are in for second, dropping from some tough allowance races there the last 2. He hasn't been able to match strides with a couple of the Glen Todd runners, Panhandle and Proof It, but perhaps down here he can be more of a factor. And I put Appellant in for 3rd. I've left out Ezekiel, another Guinness. They all had good trips last time. Rogerio, good trip. All these horses had good trips that contributed to their 1st, 2nd, and 3rd placings. European had the dreadful one, and I just think he's worth a play in here. I went 3, 6, and 1.
I went back to Ezekiel. I had a funny moment of clarity before the race last time. I was like, Ezekiel's going to win this race. He went off at a good price, 6 to 1.
No, that was a good
I just thought he's just going to. He's going to get the lead. I could see him getting the lead.
And he
again
did. He's
today.
not going to get the lead in here.
Well, he might get the leads.
Appellant and AF Indy, I think, are going for sure.
Yeah.
And
he's on the outside of those. That's what I like, though. He's on the outside of those.
He could sit there.
He's 1 for 1 in the mud. Hamill suits this horse, obviously. Ran away. So I'm going back to Ezekiel. I put Appellant. I agree. Keep him in your tickets. He's only run for a price one other time in his life. That was a maiden 16. It wasn't an overly tough field, but he won by 11 3/4. Absolutely dusted him. Tried an allowance race after that. He's had a break. Glen Todd, very good off the layoff. Appellant in for 2nd, and I threw in Rogerio. He's got a nice closing move.
He's always close.
And if there's a fair bit of gas in here, which, as you mentioned,
There could be some pace.
Look for
the European, I think,
Rogerio.
are going to go out there. He just couldn't go out there last time because he had the 7-hole.
Yeah.
And because he outbroke everyone, but he just couldn't get out there. He was 4 wide. But from the inside draw, he might be part
go.
of the pace, which might help out Rogerio.
Yeah, definitely one you want to have in your ticket. He'll be closing late, and another one that's very good in the mud. 5-1-8 for me in the 5th. On to the 6th. 2-year-old fillies, maiden 25. Field of 10 in here. What are your first of all, what a year Mark Cluche's had. Secondly, his 2-year-olds have been dynamite this year.
Yep.
And he dropped this filly. He ran her once in a maiden special weight, put her in for 25 last time. She was the favorite, only got beat a couple lengths. She was well clear of the 3rd horse. No reason Blondie can't come back and win this today. I got Blondie on top of Tui, one I'm not going to give up on. Out of the Mike Anderson barn. Went off at a short price last time. Needed, was figuring it out. First start, kind of all over the place. Now gets Richard Hamill. Has come back with a very nice work in 48 out of the gate. In the slop. It's going to be sloppy. Blinkers on. All systems go. Tui in 2nd, and I threw in the 9. Her Every Wish. Out of the Robbie Anderson barn, this one's going to be a bit of a long shot. Scott Williams rides, but I like she's a finality out of that good mare Free Quarter Time. And a good long string of work. She should be fit. Debuts in the Lasix program. That's my long shot pick in here. I went 4, 3, and 9.
Yeah, good race in here. I agree. The 4 Blondie off of her last race will get bet and is probably the horse to beat. They went in 121, but the track was a little dead that day, and it didn't really indicate the talent of the field. But Blondie did run a good race after breaking inward at the beginning and pretty much having a decent trip after that, but a clear 2nd over Kensington Market. I'm going to try the 1 horse I'm in command. This horse has shown no run at all, but has been running in 2 tough maiden allowance races, Harlan's Angel and Friday last time.
Chrissy
had the 10-hole, got actually broke well. It's hard to believe the horse was ninth, beaten 5 lengths after the opening quarter. If you watch the replay, this horse was like on top out of the gate, but Chrissy was far quicker, and she had the 11 hole, so she cleared her, and kind of shuffled her back, and she ended up 5 wide past the stands, and so Morales took her back. And then you ended up, ninth, beating 5 lengths. So basically, the horse was taken out of the race, no position. And I just think against this easier company, she might even be able to get out there and be near the lead. So I'm going to try her to win it. Put the 4-horse Blondie in for second and the 6 Kensington Market, who finished in behind her. I had no clever pick in here other than I'm in command, won't be a big price, but at least she's dropping from maiden allowance into this easier company. Take a look at the first-time starters too. Celerity, Bad Girl, and Her Every Wish, as you mentioned. They might be worth a look. This is not a tough race for one of them to jump up and win it. On to the 7th race and final $4,000 claimers here. Non-3 lifetime going up 6.5 furlongs. The 6-horse Great Blake, boy, pretty impressive win last time.
His last 2 races have been
He's run good. He ran into Got My Mo 2 starts back after the claim, and can run protected now. So, I mean, in a perfect world, when things weren't, we don't have this waiver claim, because we're trying to keep horses. That's why these horses are being waiver claimed. We're trying not to have horses claimed and taken to other. He'd be in for 8,000 non-3 or 16 non-3 again. He would be in for more money, but at this 4,000 level, he gets to run protected, not for the claiming price, and he's going to be awfully tough to beat at a short price. The only ones that can maybe beat him are the 1 Good As They Get or the 5 Fantastic Command. Those are the other 2 I could absolutely imagine beating him if he ran a subpar race, but Good As They Get, could run last time at Stone Ridge Ruler, and he was wide out, didn't get a good trip at all, and Fantastic Commands in a lot easier as well, but 615.
I don't have much to add. Great Blake.
He's the worst.
Claimed him. So he gave him like all of August off. He got about 7 weeks off. Came back, run a huge race against Got My Mo. Then he came back, won just easily. But that was last weekend. But it doesn't super scare me off because he had a nice. He hasn't been running all summer, right? He had a nice breather. He's been freshened up, and so the back in a week doesn't horrify me. Great Blake. That's my single of the day, best bet of the day. Great Blake. I agree with you. Good As They Get, and Fantastic Command beneath them. 615 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for analysis of the Saturday card. Up next on screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you're going to be up first.
We got a lot of ones going on here. We got the old 1-1-1 early.
The 1 ball.
Pick 3. Oh, we don't have to pick 3. Anyway, the first race I went to the 1, Shayla's Rose over the 6, Perienne, and the 3, Arbanita Rose. Race number 2, I'm going to go to the 1, Maury Girl, 1-3-5. Race number 3, I went to the 1, Square Dancer, 1-5-4. Race number 4. Could be another one, the Valentine Kid. Nevers could win it. I went 4-1-2. Race number 5, I went to the 3, European over the 6, the Chances Are, and the 1, Appellant. Race number 6, I went to the 1, I'm in Command over the 4 and 6. Race number 7, I went in the finale. I went, of course, the 6, and I agree. One of the best bets of the day is the 6, Great Blake. I went 6-1-5.
On to my picks, there we go. Back in the first, I went to the 2. Gonna try for an upset in the first. Go Eileen over the 1 and the 6. In the second, I went to the 5, Babylon Will Fall over the 6 and the 3. In the third, I agree with Mike on number 1, Square Dancer over the 5 and the 6. In the fourth, I'm with Mike again on number 4, Irish Charlie over the 2 and the 1. The fifth, I'm going right back to him. Number 5, Ezekiel over the 1 and the 8. In the sixth, I'm going to the Mark Cluche runner, Blondie over the 3 and the 9. In the nightcap, I agree with Mike. Best bet of the day for me, number 6, Great Blake over the 1 and the 5.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. If you can't make it out to the track on Saturday, if you're in the South Surrey area, please come on here to the Derby Bar and Grill.
It won't be raining in the Derby Bar.
It won't be raining. 72 degrees.
Yes, that's right.
It'll be lovely inside here, and please do come on out. Obviously, great television coverage, lots of big screens, lots of. We got Belmont going on. We got Los Alamitos, Churchill Downs. There's a lot of great simulcasting going on, and of course Hastings will be on the big screen, and should be a lot of fun if you do come out here. But of course at Hastings, lots of fun there as well. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. Our next live card will be next Sunday, or this Sunday. First race at 1:50. So hopefully you'll join us for our Sunday show. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do, can